This is our core workout level 2. Let's get started. We're going to start on our hands and knees in quadruped. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we're going to start with a little bit of cat-cow just to activate through the core and stretch through the spine before we get going. So we're going to lift up into the spine, exhale, and then inhale, draw the shoulders down, sending the bottom outwards, looking towards the top of our mats. Exhale up. Stretching through the spine as if you were tucking your tail between your legs. And then inhale, stretching out the opposite way. Really nice exercise to get started, to mobilize through our spines, to gently activate your core, especially in this part here where you're curling up. And then inhale, keep a gentle activation of your tummy as you stretch and lengthen. So we're going to do 2 more. And then inhale, drawing the shoulders down, sending the bottom outwards, gentle support from the tummy underneath. Last one. And then other way. And then we're going to come back to neutral. So neutral spine, just that little bit of a curve in the lumbar and strong through the shoulders so we're not sinking down towards the wrists. And we're going to keep the tummy really strong here because we're going to need to keep the torso still as we send out an opposite arm and a leg. Think about lengthening through the arm and the leg, trying to get as long as you possibly can rather than worrying about the height. Keeping the torso still, that's where the core comes in, so that we're not sinking through the back or the tummy. We keep the core really strong, and that gives us a really nice foundation to be able to just lengthen through the arm and the leg. See how stable you can make your posture in this position. And that's going to give you a pretty good idea of how your core is doing. So we're going to do 6 more, 3 more to each side. You can use an exhale as you extend. And then coming back in. 4 to go. Squeezing your glute as you extend your leg, keeping your shoulder down as you extend the arm. 1 more to each side, keeping that tummy working. Last one. Okay, we're going to go out into some planking here. If your wrists are okay, you can keep your hands flat. If you get sore wrists, you can always come up onto your fists like this, just whatever makes you more comfortable. So we're going to step out 1 leg at a time. We're going to step out and plant the toes down, then squeeze your tummy, squeeze your glutes and press the other leg out. And then bring that left leg back in and then in. So let's go left leg first for 2 and 3. Notice how I'm trying to keep my body in a really nice long line. I'm not dipping through the hips and I'm not pushing upwards. I'm keeping that really nice long posture. Keeping the core working and the glutes working as I extend through the legs. Now I'm going to swap legs. So send the right one out. In, right, left, in. We've got 3 to go. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. 1. Last one. 2. If that was enough for you, I want you to repeat that round. If you want to take it a little further, we're going to step it out and we're going to hold it. And then we're going to lift our leg 10 times, alternating side to side. 2. Keeping the pelvis as stable as you can. 5. 6. Trying not to dip through the pelvis, through the tummy. 2 more. And then bringing the legs in. The arms get a bit of a good workout with that one too. So we're going to come down onto the elbows now. And with this next one, it's really similar to what we just did, but we're going to bring 1 leg in at a time and we're going to flex through the spine as we do it. So we're going to arch through the spine as we do it. So you're going to lift into your back. You're going to draw your tummy in as hard as you can because you're going to lift that knee towards your chest and then open back out into a plank. So exhale, inhale to open, Exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale. Inhale to open. Make sure you're really engaging your abdominals. You should feel a nice little burn there. And we've got 3 to go. Making sure you open up in between. 1 more. And then rest the body down. Take a couple of deep breaths into your tummy. 1 more deep breath. Hopefully you've got the blood pumping a little bit now. So you're going to come up into a seated position. Have your legs about as wide as the mat. We're going to do a little bit of rotation and engaging through the abdominals at the same time. So place your hands onto your shoulders, sitting up really tall, right on top of your sit bones. Move your bottom out of the way a little bit if you need to. Hands onto your shoulders, and we're going to exhale as we twist. So you're going to keep the tummy really firm. Exhale and twist. Inhale through the center. Exhale and twist. So we're just going side to side with the torso. Notice that my legs are really still. So my feet aren't moving. It's as if they're pressed against a wall. Keeping the spine really long as we twist. So feel the length in your spine. And notice your obliques. That's what's helping to twist your rib across to your opposite hip. So as if you're wringing out your torso. Inhaling through the center. Exhale to grow tall and twist. And the other side. Inhale through the center. Exhale, squeeze out all that air and twist through the torso. And we're going to do 1 more to each side. So to the left and then to the right. Now we're going to add a little something. So we're going to twist to the left and then we're going to reach pinky toe to pinky toe, pinky finger to pinky toe, inhale through the center and then exhale, pinky finger to pinky toe. So it's an inhale and then an exhale, and I want you to feel like you're scooping through the tummy and squeezing so you're drawing your chest over your thigh. It's not so much about the hamstrings, although you may feel a little stretch there. It's more about what's happening in the abdominals and the obliques. So I want you to really focus on your tummy. Exhale, draw your abs in, squeeze through your obliques wrapping around. And try and get that scooping feeling through your tummy as you come up and over and twist your chest towards your opposite thigh. Inhale, exhale. And when you come over the leg, you're looking back at this arm that's up. Inhale, exhale. We've got 1 more to go. Inhale, and the other side. Lovely. Cool. So bring the legs back to center. We're going to pop the hands behind the knees and we're going to roll down. So we're going to tuck the tailbone under. You're going to press down 1 vertebrae at a time, leading the spine towards the floor. The toes just start to roll up, grazing the floor, and you're rolling down gently. Head touches down where we inhale. Exhale, and we're just going to do the same thing but opposite. So we're going to curl up. The toes are going to start to reach away from the body and they're going to start arching down towards the floor. We're scooping through the belly. Control it as slowly as you can, rolling up. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And then exhale to go down again. So we tuck through the tailbone. Feel your transverse abdominals working. So those muscles deep and low in your belly. Rolling down as the toes graze the floor. And as slowly and controlled as we can. Touching down, inhale. Exhale as we start to roll up. Reach the toes away from you. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Scoop the belly. Bring your chest over your hips. And then inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to roll down. Tucking the tailbone under. Rolling through the spine. Toes just start to graze the floor. Rolling down. Inhaling at the bottom. Exhaling as we roll up. This is a really nice prep exercise for what's coming next. So see how slow and controlled you can get it, because we're about to step this up a notch. So we're going to do one more here. Rolling down, really take your time and try and let the spine press down one vertebrae at a time. If you're having trouble with this, if your spine doesn't like to bend so much especially, keep going with this one. You can try using a band or a towel or something around your feet, or tuck your toes under the lounge to try and get a little bit more support if that's troubling you. If you're okay with that, we're going to step it up a notch. So we're going to lengthen through the legs, have the arms off, and we're going to tuck the tailbone under, and we're going to roll down again. This time you're really having to control through your abdominals. Try and press down one vertebrae at a time as you've scooped through the belly. And then the arms reach overhead. And we're going to inhale as we start to roll up. And then exhale, scoop through the belly and come all the way up and over the legs to stretch the spine and the hamstrings. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to roll down. So now we're really targeting the abdominals as we control that down. And then we're going to inhale up. Exhale, scoop through the belly all the way up and over the legs. Lengthening the spine on the inhale. And then exhale, rolling down. Try and keep your heels in contact with the mat. Try not to let them lift as you roll down. And then inhaling up. Exhale, scoop to come the rest of the way up and over the legs. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to roll down. And arms overhead. And then inhaling up. Exhale to scoop. And over we go. Inhale up. We're going to make this our last one. So we're going to roll down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Relax shoulders. Control as much as you can. And then reaching the arms over. So if you've scooched up a little bit like I have, just scoot yourself back down onto your mat. And the next one we're going to do is called single leg stretch. So we're going to curl up into a chest lift position. We're going to lift one leg into tabletop. We're going to touch the inside of the knee and the outside of the calf. And then that other leg is just going to reach long. So we're going to keep the torso stable as we start to move through the legs. So we're holding this chest lift position, and the body is not moving as you cross through and change from leg to leg. So it's an exhale as we change. And the legs are long and strong, and they touch towards the floor, but they just don't quite make it. So we're just controlling through the abdominals, keeping the pelvis nice and stable. We've got 10 to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And tuck the knees in towards the chest. Take a nice deep breath and roll the legs around a little. So from here, we're going to go into crisscross. When we do crisscross, think about your shoulder coming towards your knee, or your rib coming across towards the opposite hip, rather than your elbow reaching towards your knee. And you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. So we're going to pop the hands behind the head, fingers interlocked. We're going to take the legs into tabletop, and then we're going to curl up, exhaling. Now reach one leg long. And here is what I meant about the shoulder to knee and the rib to hip part. We're reaching towards that knee and then swapping sides. So it's an inhale as you change and an exhale as that leg lengthens and you're coming across here. So inhale, exhale. So we've got 10 to go. 10, 9, 8. Thinking about the ribs coming across. Not so much the elbow. 6, 5, you should be feeling this in the abdominals, in the obliques. 3, 2, and 1. And tuck the knees in. Nice deep breath into the belly. Those are some really nice, strong abdominal exercises. So hopefully you guys are feeling that by now. So we're going to lengthen through one leg, and then we're going to reach the other leg up towards the ceiling. Keep a good hold on your pelvis, and make sure your pelvis stays really still. You want to feel your transverse abdominals muscles switching on under your fingers there. And we're just going to draw little circles on the ceiling. This is a leg exercise as well. Like with Pilates, it's a lot of stuff is all over body exercises. But if you manage to keep your hips really still, there is no way that your core is not working hard. So keep your pelvis as stable as you can as you circle the leg, and your core will be working to stabilize your pelvis. And we want to get that core working in as many different positions as we can, and stabilizing your hips, your torso, your spine. So I'm going to do 4 more circles. Nice and controlled. They don't have to be big. Smaller and controlled is actually better. And I've lost count. I think we've got one more. Pilates teachers are terrible counters. And then bringing that leg down. Okay, other leg. So lengthen that right leg now. Lengthen the left towards the ceiling. Engage the abdominals. Hold them tight. Feel your transverse abdominals. I'm going to do your fingertips while you're holding your pelvis there. And we're circling around. Try to go the same direction as you did on the other leg. And keeping the pelvis really stable as we circle around for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And stretching that leg long. We're going to roll over onto our tummies. So again, trying to work the core in all our different positions. And I have the hands by the chest. And we're going to go up into swan. So we're going to look towards the top of the mat as we inhale, draw the shoulders down, peeling up through one vertebrae at a time, pressing into the hands, drawing in the tummy, squeezing the glutes as we open up, and then rolling back down on the exhale. Have the elbows bend back towards your bottom as you roll back down. Inhale as you look towards the top of the mat, shoulders roll down, chest open, collarbones smiling, across the front of the chest, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the tummy, opening up, stretching through the arms, and then rolling back down, shoulders melting down towards the hips, elbows reaching towards the feet, and rolling back down one vertebrae at a time. Inhale as we lengthen through the spine. Think about lengthening through your spine as much as you can. Engage the abdominals. They're stretching and engaging at the same time, giving them beautiful length and tone as we roll back down. I'm going to do 3 more like this. Rolling up. Squeeze your bottom. Reach your elbows back. Shoulders down, chest open. Squeezing your transverse abdominals and using your arms as we roll back down. 2 to go. Rolling up, squeezing the abdominals, pressing up, opening through the back, and then rolling back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. 1 more, here we go. Rolling up, pressing into the hands, stretching up, open through the chest. Belly leads down first, followed by the ribs, followed by the sternum, gently closing down through the chest and the throat. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to roll over for our last couple of exercises. So we're going to do a rollover and a jackknife, bit of a combo. So it's quite strong all over, but really think about engaging your core to support your stability in these positions. So we're going to start with the legs in tabletop. We're going to reach the toes up towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale, press your hands into the floor and use a little bit of momentum to help swing your legs up and over until your legs are about parallel with the ground, and then bring your hands behind your hips, squeeze your butt, draw your tummy in as you lengthen your toes up towards the ceiling. Tummy's strong here, and then bring the toes back down, scooping the belly here, and then rolling back down vertebrae by vertebrae, controlling that until we bend back into tabletop. Lengthen the legs up, scoop the belly, press into the hands, squeeze the bottom as you go over, lining up the legs, hands come behind, squeeze the butt as you lift and draw into the tummy. You want to open up through the front of the hips and try and keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling, and then lengthen through the legs as they come back, reaching overhead, and then rolling back down. Pressure into the hands to control that back. Tabletop. We're going to do 2 more. Lengthen the legs up. Exhale. Hands behind. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale to bring the hands back. And then exhale down. Inhale to bend. Last one. Exhale up. Inhale, lift. Draw in with the belly. Exhale. Inhale, hands down. And then exhale, rolling through the spine. One last exercise to go. Hands behind the head. It's a bit of a burner. We're going to lengthen the legs up. Curl up into a chest lift. Lower the legs. Just until you can keep your spine imprinted on the floor. We don't want the lower back lifting off the floor for this one. So we're going to exhale. Inhale. Exhale to lower, keeping the spine just gently imprinted into the floor. Exhale. Inhale. The lower you go, the harder it is on the abs, but I want to make sure you keep that control in your core, that your belly's not poking up and that your back's not leaving the floor. We've got 4 more. Inhale up. 2. 2 more, guys, nearly done. And last one. Good, and then hug the knees in. Take a nice deep breath. And we're all done.